Wolfie, why do you always make me record at the wee hours of the night?
Nah, it's not my fault. You live in the future.
No, you just live in the past.
Nah.
There's a big difference. I'm present day.
I am definitely the present day because my time is when they release all the movies.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They release them and accounting for my time and my time only.
Okay, but they release the games according to my time, and that's what's more important.
Do they actually?
A lot of them, because a lot of Canadian studios are on my side of the...
Ah, I see.
Canada's got all the good stuff.
Oh,
we just mooch off of them.
That's true.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got the games. That's more.
You can't get their healthcare, but at least you get their game releases.
True. Listen, we have guns.
Yeah.
That
Where was this going?
Well, we have that over Canada.
That is true.
They may not have health. See, what is healthcare going to do against guns?
That is true.
You can beat healthcare with guns.
You can't indeed.
Beat guns with healthcare.
I bring a gun to the healthcare. No one can stop me.
That's right. Not enough healthcare, anyways. See, take that, Canada. We win again. America never loses.
That's right.
Don't ask us about
eagle noise.
Don't ask us about Vietnam. We backed out of that willingly.
Yeah.
It
was a mercy.
Yeah.
Let's switch this topic before you cancel. I didn't know about the Vietnam War.
We're just drawing in a new type of audience.
I just know what happened.
You don't know anything?
I remember it was kind of brutal.
That's going to be on the test next week.
Vietnam did not come to play.
No, Vietnam came to play. We didn't. we
play as in play around.
Yeah, they didn't fuck around. They turned up the difficulty on us.
They came to win.
Yeah, they did. They not only did they come to win, they came to put us to shame.
Forget that organized war bullshit. We're going all in. We're on hog wild.
They're the originator of call an ambulance, but not for me.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, with that, welcome to episode 93 of You're Ridiculous.
Whoa!
My name is Luke. I'm one of your hosts as always, and with me is the other host that knows nothing about actual history. Wolfie.
I don't need to.
That's right. Well, I'll be honest. You said one thing you said to me. I actually back this up a bit. I playfully mock you for not knowing any of the like historical events or especially historical people, because I feel like those come up more often.
Yeah.
However, you once said to me that like all the things like directly important to you, you know of and you're aware of.
Yeah, that is true.
And I feel like that's definitely a way of looking at things that I don't think is completely laughable.
It's funny. Sometimes I'll bring something up that people would think that it's in a timeline. A timeline. It's something I wouldn't know about it, but then I know that one thing, and people are like, "Why do you know that?" But you don't know all those other things.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know like these 10, but you know this one.
I think I made like a 1/13 joke once to one of our friends, and he was just taken aback.
You know, listen. You know what you need to know.
Exactly.
And that's good enough. You probably have more knowledge than like the average American, so
you know what? Probably.
That's probably true. So, take that, Canada. Once again, we win.
One day, Canada might have me.
You're wanted personality in Canada.
Yeah.
You'll never catch me alive, Canada. Last week we talked about Summertime Rendering's intro, and Wolfie did quite the impressive analysis on it.
I did indeed. Even I was shocked.
We'll see how close you actually end up being, but pretty close.
Haha.
This week, though, back to the world of gaming.
That's right.
Coming out of a French studio, Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Yeah.
I was going to loop Canada back in, but we've talked about them enough, so.
Can't give them too much free publicity.
That's right. Assassin's Creed Mirage, Ubisoft's most recent installment in their very successful Assassin's Creed franchise.
Yeah.
Wolf, you're a gamer.
That's right.
Tell me all about Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed is a game where you play as an assassin who is a part of a creed. Or you've taken a creed that is a part of a group cult thing. I think they're a cult. Something like that. Feels culty.
Okay, well, you're half right. They fight against a cult.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they do fight against a cult. The main thing is they fight against... They have two names depending on if it's sort of the ancient history or the current modern era.
Yeah.
And it's either the Order of the Ancients against the Hidden Ones, or their new names are the Templars versus the Assassins.
I know the Templars.
Yeah, and so the Order of the Ancients became the Templars, and the Hidden Ones became the Assassins.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed. I played about what is equivalent to probably 30 minutes of it, but I spent hours on it because I had never played it before.
Yeah.
Of some random section of someone else's console. And I've watched the movie.
So you've experienced the worst part of the franchise.
So it seems.
That movie...
I get the gist of it.
Honestly, I would love it if they would, if an actual studio would, come in and, do their due diligence and make a good movie. Because the actual franchise could be really cool.
I bet.
As a live-action movie. You have a lot of, really sweet stuff you could do with that. Even if you didn't follow the primary, storyline. If you just, made non-canon movies, that would be really cool. But, anyways, so you're obviously an expert in Assassin's Creed.
Indeed.
What is this newest one? What is Mirage?
Mirage, it's set in India. India, yeah? Or maybe before it was called India.
No.
What?
No.
Wait, no, not India. Saudi Arabia.
No.
What? Where is it?
Iraq.
Oh, Iraq. I see.
It's set in Baghdad. Ancient 9th century Baghdad.
I see.
Yeah, close
it's set
enough.
there.
Although, I will not to interrupt, but I will say, they do mislead you, because if anyone guessed Mirage, you 100% think of India.
Yeah. The trick.
That's right.
You play as Bahim. He was some thief, some ordinary thief no one cared about, but he decided to wrap himself up in some historical centuries, millennia long nonsense to prove himself.
Where did you get this info?
I watched the first hour of gameplay. No one relevant played it, so I had to watch some farming schmuck play it.
I see. So, Basim is his name. But the rest of it's true.
Yeah.
You're right about the rest of it. He was just some common thief, which we'll get to in a sec. But yeah, and you're basically just like all the other games, playing as an assassin, trying to defeat the Order of the Ancients.
Yeah, obviously he is, he's got the, the assassin's blood in him, because he's got that eagle sight from the start.
He does. Wow, that hour that you watched really gave you a lot of info.
That one I got from the movie.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah. All right, let's actually dive into it.
Yeah, you've actually played it, so here take the reins.
I have played it. I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan, if it wasn't immediately obvious. This one, to summarize what we've sort of already stated, 9th century Baghdad, taking place after Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins, which are the two earliest games in the franchise timeline-wise.
Okay.
They're Odyssey takes place in ancient ancient Greece. And then Origins takes place in ancient Egypt.
Okay.
And Odyssey is basically where the Order of the Ancients came from. And then, 50 years or even less than that, maybe a little bit, Origins took place, and that was the creation of the Hidden Ones. And so the evil group came, and then the good guys, the assassins, were formed, a little bit
in
later.
Response.
Yeah, they responded finally. And then Mirage is sort of the culmination now that both of these groups exist, what's happening now. And it takes place in Baghdad. Basim is the character. He has a very long name that I'm not going to pretend I'll be able to pronounce because I don't speak Arabic. Or what is that? That's what they speak.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong person.
I'm pretty sure that's true.
First guess India, second guess Saudi Arabia.
You got closer on the map.
True.
Okay, so the overarching goal, not of the game, but of the developers of Ubisoft, was to return Assassin's Creed back to its roots and make the game primarily focused on stealth. That's what the game started as in 2007 when it came out. It was a stealth game where you literally played as an assassin, following people around, doing hidden assassinations, all that sort of things. And the past couple years, right around 2016 and onward, they moved from that sort of stealth gameplay to much more of an open world RPG system. Where it really wasn't much about stealth. That was obviously an option, and you still assassinated a lot of people, but it was really a role-playing game. It was an open world RPG, especially Odyssey and Origins. Those two in particular were the sort of primary introductions to this sort of whole system. They had humongous maps, truly, truly like big, and I'll get to that in a second. And they had the butterfly effect for decision making, where if you made a decision, some decisions you could make early on in the game had different effects later in the game.
Yeah.
And so it was this whole thing. It was great, but it wasn't really
dense.
Yeah, it was super dense, but it wasn't really an Assassin's Creed game. Like, it wasn't primarily stealth focused. You could run into a fort and take on like 40 guys at a time and just like completely murder hobo everybody.
Murder hobo.
It was hard, but you could do it. Obviously, the better approach was to still stealth, but fans really wanted to return to the sort of simple, not so RPG style.
I see.
So that was their goal. They made it way smaller. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the previous game before Mirage. That one, to complete the main storyline, was about 60 hours.
Wow.
Roughly, it got to obviously be a lot more, but on average it was about 60 hours, with about 40 to 50 additional hours if you wanted to do 100% completion. Odyssey, the main quest line, which was the game before Valhalla, so 2 games prior, was about 45 hours, and then another 60 hours for 100% completion.
60 of extras.
Yes, more than the main quest. More than the main line. Now, Mirage, this is the most current game, is about 20 hours. 15 to 20 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with about 10 hours, maybe, of additional gameplay. Like,
maybe I should buy it.
100% completion. Apparently, it goes by... I've sunk, I'd say, about maybe 10 hours in it so far.
Yeah.
And I don't feel particularly close to the end, but I'm also like doing side stuff. Like, I'm trying to like do both of them at the same time.
Yeah, you're doing extras.
So, like, the extras at the same time. So obviously, if you just do most of the main quests with some side quests to like get levels and stuff like that, then you'll probably stick to that 20 hours. So most of the reviews I've seen of people that have beaten it are about 25 or 20 hours. And the lowest I've seen is about 12.
Zooming through it.
Yeah, so it's pretty quick, but that's sort of the overarching timeline and how they really narrowed down their focus, really drew everything back to stealth mechanics and really focused in. And another example, the map for Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins, humongous. I don't really have a good example of what to put it in, but it's really big. It spans several like continents, even, and islands and all this.
Wow,
it's huge. Like,
excessive.
Yeah, it's massive. Odyssey spans several things, but Origins. Origins stays in Egypt, but they're both massive. Baghdad is literally. Mirage is just taking place mostly in Baghdad, which is just the city in Iraq, ancient Iraq, and a few of the outering areas. Like, they called it the wilderness.
Yeah.
Which is really just the fucking desert. But yeah, it's basically just taking place in a city. So it's so much smaller. Much smaller. Which really allowed the studios to like narrow their focus and really try to emphasize the points of the game, which were like stealth and being a true assassin.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's really fun. Any questions so far?
It's funny you say they want to go like back to it. It's like its origins. So I guess that means the person I watched play this, entered the franchise probably at either Origins or the other one you said that was really huge, the RPG type one. Because he made a comment. There wasn't a lot of commentary because the first hour was mostly a lot of cutscenes, so of course you don't want to talk over that.
True.
But he did say he said it felt like sandbox mode in Assassin's Creed. He said there wasn't much going on. I'm looking at the screen, I'm like, one, it felt like there was more than enough going on to do. I'm like, huh? But if the other one was basically an open world RPG, I can see why he felt that way.
Yeah, it was huge. You had like main quests and side quests and like the full. There's multiple main quests in Odyssey.
Jeez.
Like there's probably 2 or 3 main quests to like all converge at one route.
Yeah.
And then there's the side quests. There's even further side quests that you don't even have to do at all, like ever, but you could do them because they're there.
If you felt like it.
Yeah, if you just wanted like whatever reward there may be. And when I say like further side quests, obviously some of the side quests you still want to do.
Yeah.
You just need like materials to like level up your gear or whatnot. But some of the stuff you like went out of your way for, and there was like a bajillion collectibles, a million of them.
Endless.
And this one is like, it reduces it probably like an eighth. There's so much less, but in the game itself, there still feels like there's a lot to do. So, it's really nice. They scaled it down in a really good way. They scaled everything down, which makes it not so bad. It still feels like there's a good amount of stuff to do.
Do you think it was a successful return to form?
So far, I haven't finished it. I think I've heard a lot of criticisms back and forth that the game sucks or the game is great. As you always do. Yeah, anybody. I think most Assassin's Creed fan, maybe not most, but a lot of them don't know what they want.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is like any franchise, right? But I think in general, we'll get to like sort of my lasting thoughts, but I do think if their goal was to return the game to the stealth sort of franchise that it started as in 2007, they have succeeded. The game not only encourages you to do stealth mechanics, but also actively discourages open combat.
Oh, you love to see that.
Yeah, and I'll hop right into it right now because that's sort of a good thing. So I wrote down just a bunch of things I thought they did right in this game, and a few things I thought they could have improved on. The first thing, stealth. It's super rewarding, especially considering that, like I said, open combat is fairly discouraged. It's pretty hard to take on more than like 2, maybe 3 guys at once.
Yeah. Whereas
in Odyssey or Origins even going back to like Black Flag, which is like 4 games ago, you could take on like, 5, 6, 7 guys at a time.
Like it's nothing.
In Black Flag, the parry system was so broken that you could take on probably like a number of guards in the area. Like you could go into a fort, take on all 20 guys and just parry everybody. Because like parry wasn't like it is now. It was like a very slowed down quick time event.
Oh.
So you could just like parry, and then just like roll over somebody, stab someone, parry, and just like keep doing that. It was very satisfying.
Parry spam.
It was also pretty broken.
The guy, he like took a swing at one of the like Templars. It didn't do shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. You have like most of the time you're just doing light attacks, and you have to like do a 3. We'll cut that out. You have to do a 3 button. I'm playing on mouse and keyboard, obviously. So 3 key combo to do a heavy attack to do like any meaningful damage.
Oh, wow.
However, there is a parry system, but it's much harder to do. And they also have like heavy attacks that you have to dodge. You can't parry.
Yeah.
So there's different stuff. And if you parry them and that they're like low enough health, you can immediately assassinate them.
Ooh.
So there's different, you have options, right? You could like parry them and then use one of your tools to either get away or give you an advantage, stuff like that. It's open combat is not bad in the sense that like you'll never win. It's just that you're so much more advantaged if you maintain the stealth aspect of it.
Yeah, and that's solid. And it's cool they put their foot down on it, because other milquetoast studios, they'd be like, they wouldn't punish like going balls to the walls fight because they felt like fighting.
Yeah, for sure. I think they did a good balance. 'Cause when you can do open combat, it's pretty fun to try and figure out good ways to do it, because the enemies definitely deal more damage than you do, which is good, right? Like I'm not supposed to be some all-star fighter.
Yeah, you're some guy.
Yeah, I'm an assassin. And in this game, like you said, I'm literally was just a street rat. So that's cool. Another thing, they provided you with options within the world to achieve your goals. If you can't find sort of the route to take in your assassin missions, you can use these special tokens that you can get in the game and do a handful of different things. The ones I've seen so far are you can bribe guards to like make them look the other way. That one's pretty rare. It doesn't come up that often. Most of the guards are kind of nasty, but a couple of them work.
Well off.
Yeah. You can like help merchants out and they'll go into that area and then cause a scene.
Ooh.
You can recruit rebels to help guards fight for you. You can this one's pretty funny. You can hire musicians to distract the guards. And then a really cool one that I think is new to this game is if there's a group of 3 or more NPCs, you can hide and stealth in that group.
Ah!
So you can just like walk up to them and then it's acting like if you're in a bush or tall grass or whatever.
You're just vibing, blending in with the scenery.
Like they don't, I think the guards won't notice you.
Watchdog does that.
They do.
And I think
I'm
that's
pretty
the same
sure it's
studio.
Pilfered from Watch Dogs, which is funny. There might be more things than just this, but I haven't finished it yet. So these are definitely the most common ones, especially like hiring mercenaries, which is pretty common. Another good thing that I really like.
Sip.
Gotta refresh the juice. Is the notoriety system. This is another thing that encourages you to maintain stealth route. And the primary reason is because the civilians are fucking narcs. The civilians, if they see you do stuff illegal, like loot, a basket nearby, or say kill a guard, some of them will start screaming "murderer, murderer," and alert guards to your position.
They're like the pelicans in Finding Nemo.
There's 3 tiers of notoriety. The first one is guards are more aware of you. So if you do like one illegal thing and you get seen, you go up a tier.
Yeah.
So the guards will become more aware of you. The second one is that archers are sporadically placed on rooftops.
Kill on sight.
Yeah, that means it's 2 bad things, because one, obviously they have the high ground on you. Yeah. And they could like shoot you from far away. It also means you can't use your animal companion because they shoot at it.
Oh!
So that you can't like scout ahead, which is a really big tool in this game.
Yeah.
And then the third one is the worst one, and it's if you get like 3 levels of notoriety, they send like a super powered assassin after you. Like it's super armored, it's faster than all the other guards, it's wise to your tricks, like it won't just stand in your smoke bomb. Yeah. It'll like, cough for a sec. It'll be stunned for a second, but then like get out of the smoke bomb and wait for it to disappear.
Wow.
So I've only been able to run away from that guy.
They're strict over there.
Yeah. And then obviously you need a way to counteract this, so you can bribe the like town like gossip guy. Yeah. It has a name in the native language, but I don't know how to pronounce it. So
I see.
Or it's like Muandi or something, but I don't know what it actually means. Or you can just rip down wanted posters, which is really nice.
Erase it from the public memory.
Yeah, and it's really funny because the civilians are like looking at the wanted poster, and you just walk up and rip it down.
Wonder who that guy was.
It's like, don't look at that. Don't look at that. So yeah, the notoriety system, they've had it before, but this version is really good. They had it in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I thought it was a little clunky, but this one is quite nice.
Yeah, it sounds solid.
Yeah. Another one that I think they did really well is customizable items. And so you have a bunch of tools in the game, which is pretty standard for Assassin's Creed. You have your main like weapons plus your hidden blades, but in this one and in many others, you have additional things like smoke bombs, throwable knives, blow darts, and in this one you also have like a noise machine or like a, they call it a noise maker, but it's basically just like a grenade that makes a bunch of noise.
Grenade.
It is. It really is.
I was imagining you having like one of those little like they're like the sticks that spin on a rod and it just makes noise.
Oh, yeah, that would have been better. I got like actually a grenade, and then they have like traps that like when they get, they're basically proximity mines. That when they get close to them, they like explode or emit clouds of dust.
I see.
But the interesting thing, and what I think they did well here, is that obviously you can upgrade them, but the upgrades aren't just like, this deals more damage, you know, like most upgrades in games are.
Yeah.
They have, once again, tiers. So you tier 1, 2, and 3. And like for the hidden knives, we'll say, because those are the ones I upgraded first. They have tier 1. You can either, it basically grants perks to the weapon. And so you can either carry two more knives, so going from 4 to 6, you can throw them farther, or they do more damage when hit. And so you can only pick one of those. And so for the next tier, they have like armor piercing, so the really heavy guards take. Normally you can't throw throwing knives at the heavy guards because they have armor on the head.
Bounce right off.
Right, it bounces off. Where you could do armor piercing, or you can put poison on your blades. And then the third tier is when you hit them, the body like corrodes and like melts away. Or you can, I forget what the last one is, but not really. Anyways, each tier you can only
what
pick
an
one.
Escalation.
I know, right? I know. Literally melting acid bodies. Each tier you can only have one of active at a time, but you can like, for every mission, you can customize which perk you want on your thing. So I thought that was really fun.
That is neat.
It's a lot better than just like, yeah, this now has like 50 different enhancements and I'm okay.
Enhance.
Yeah. The last thing before I get into things that they could improve on was I thought the leveling system in this game was better than in previous games. Particularly in Odyssey and Valhalla. They have basically like levels 1 through 30 or 1 through 50 or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
And all the areas and missions are like ranked with what level you should be at. Or suggested level. You don't have to be, but
yeah, of course.
Suggested level. This one, however, has 6 different tiers of rank instead of just a bunch of arbitrary levels. And so it goes from initiate, apprentice, novice, disciple, assassin, and then I haven't seen this anywhere, but apparently there's also a master rank.
Ooh.
So maybe that's for post-game content. But so I've only seen 5 of the 6 listed. And essentially what it means is the previous game, if I was level 1, I didn't really want to go into an area that was level 3 because I'd probably get my ass beat.
Of course.
However, if I'm an initiate rank, I can feasibly do any of the quests or areas or explore anywhere in initiate rank, but they're not always the same difficulty. Some stuff in the initiate rank is going to be easier than something else that you find later that's also labeled initiate. So it's like they combined a bunch of levels. It's now like initiate rank, you could think of it as like levels 1 through 3.
Yeah.
And then like apprentice rank is like 4 through 6 and so on. And so anything within those areas and even like a tier above, you can probably do, though it's going to be hard. Whereas before in the other leveling system, you could just like, if anything was like 2 levels above you, just avoid it. Don't even bother.
That's good. It's less calculated.
Yeah. And so it's just like, this is a general guide for you rather than just like random levels, because like what's the true difference between like level 15 and level 18, right? Like how do I calculate that as the player? Whereas if I see initiate versus apprentice, it's like, okay, that's literally a full tier above.
Yeah.
And there's only 5 tiers, so that's like way easier to understand than like a 3-level difference in like a game that has 30 or 50 levels.
Kill 10 more chickens.
You're right. So I thought this just was like a cleaner way of doing it.
I see.
It makes a lot more sense to the players, I think.
What don't you vibe with?
Yeah, things that they could improve on. This list has actually shifted a little bit since I've played with it more.
Ooh.
I wrote this morning, and I've put in actually a handful of hours this afternoon.
You're addicted.
It's good. Well, also this is the weekend. I have most free time.
That's true. That's true.
One quick thing. This I don't think is about this game. Like, I don't think this will be a recurring problem. I'm pretty sure this will get fixed in a couple days. But every once in a while, there's some crashes. The game has only been out 3 days, so naturally there's going to be some problems. Luckily, however, the autosave system means that I haven't lost more than a minute of gameplay.
Oh, that's a good autosave system.
It's a really good autosave system. So this is obviously something they should improve on, and most likely will within the week. But if you're playing this game and you're worried or seeing that there's crash reports, don't worry. I literally have not lost more than a minute of gameplay. It saves almost instantly from where I left off.
Now those AAAs really spoil you.
That's right. They pamper you when the game bugs out. Moving into more like actual things that they should improve on. The parkour system still at times feels a little clunky. I feel like, after 15 years of this franchise, it should flow more smoothly than it does.
Especially, I know there's like at least 2 really solid parkour dedicated games.
Really?
So it's definitely possible with the technology we have.
Right. Not most of the time. There's a good amount of the time where it's really smooth, but then there's some times where it's like I'm looking one direction with my camera and I'll jump the opposite direction. Because like technically his body is that direction.
Yeah.
But I don't have a way of moving him. Yeah. So it's like, why is this a thing, right? Like we should be able to fix this and make it more smooth. It should auto jump to where my camera is facing, I feel like, most of the time.
Yeah, I feel like that makes sense.
Obviously, they do a good job in general with the parkour. Listen here. But there's still definitely things that they can improve on. Some of the climbing still feels a little slow and sluggish, but it's not too bad. Most of the time, it's not that noticeable. But
there was a scene where the character picked up a cat to pet it, and then also put it down, and I had to say that's probably the clunkiest thing I saw in that first hour of gameplay.
It does not look great. Although, however, that sort of animation is pilfered from the last game.
Oh.
The entire thing. They just reskinned it.
I can't believe this.
Yeah, you can blame the studio on the last game for that. They didn't even do it. It's literally a shot-for-shot animation remake. They just reskinned everything.
That's so funny.
This one, I'll be honest, depending on the style of player you are, this might be a negative, it might not be. The story, a little bit mid. It's if you want a very light story, as in I'm the good guys and these are the bad guys, go kill these bad guys, it'll be great.
Yeah.
If you just want something super light and just like very obvious, then play this game. If you want something more invested and deep with a lot of different layers, go play Assassin's Creed Origins, go play Assassin's Creed Valhalla or Odyssey or any of the previous ones, all the RPG ones, because those are more in depth. So they increased like the stealth options, but decreased the overall like depth of a story. And at times it's more noticeable than it should be. Sometimes it's a little heavy-handed with what they have you do, but
I see.
Not bad. Overall, it could be worse, honestly. However,
we could be in a Marvel movie.
True. This is a big negative. The map for like the actual map you use, it sucks.
Oh.
The legend system doesn't. I had to figure out what was the difference between a known location and a discovered location.
Okay, known and discovered.
They're two different things, and the only icon difference is one, it looks like a sort of a lotus petal. They both look like a lotus petal, but a discovered location has a ring around the other lotus
ring.
petal.
They put a ring on it.
Yeah, they did. They don't ever tell you what it means. However, it just means one is a landmark that you should go to, and the other is a landmark that you've been to.
You know what? That's not even what I thought that meant. Because I was going to justify it in a second.
I know. I didn't think that's what it would have meant either, but I had to use intuition. That's what it means.
I was going to say, I know of your house, but I haven't discovered it.
Right. That makes more sense. It's just that, like, it's really just a place you've been to and a place you haven't.
Ridiculous.
And they use two different words that don't mean those things.
Yeah, that's what those words mean.
The other thing is, you would think using the scroll wheel on your mouse would zoom in and out, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Doesn't.
What zooms in?
I learned this the third day I played it, which is I had to use plus and minus on my keyboard.
That is ridiculous. Nonsense.
I think it might be a bug because when you zoom in and out, it sort of just has a stroke and like starts like moving like this, like back and forth really slowly. And then at times, like if I go really fast with the scroll wheel, it'll just go like and like shift to the side completely, which it definitely should never be doing.
Oh my god.
I actually didn't even know there was a way to zoom in and out until I saw a clip on it on Twitter. So
you're just living in the dark ages.
Yeah, the map definitely needs to be fixed. I'm assuming some of it's bugs, but even the legend, which isn't bugged, is just bad.
Yeah.
They can fix it. It does help a lot once you zoom in on the map, because then it sort of tells you, it shows you a lot more. Like the actual names of everything is there, which they weren't before.
Right.
So I was going to complain about that. But once you actually zoom in, the names of everything is there. Lastly, this is sort of a personal preference. I mentioned it before that they had the butterfly effect choices in Assassin's Creed and in Odyssey and Valhalla.
Yeah.
And a little bit in Origins, where choices you made at any point in the game could later affect decisions you made, or could later affect the game as you progress. They don't really have that. And I thought I was okay with it at first, but I am sort of noticeably missing that. I don't want a lot of it because then you sort of get too bogged down into the role-playing aspect of it.
Yeah.
But a little bit would be nice. I just wish that there was a little more direction. I wish there was a little bit more agency on the player's part, where this one feels really directed. It's you don't really have many choices. The game is super linear.
Yeah.
But that might not be a negative for you. Like, I imagine this, all the things that they've done in this, like, would appeal a lot more to you, Wolf, than in previous games where they're like the scope is like infinitely larger.
I could see that.
Yeah. So overall, not too bad. I don't really know why I've seen some of the amount of hate that I've seen for this game, because I actually think it's really good.
People are schmucks. Maybe it was a marketing issue. Because before I watched that the first hour, I did click on someone's like thoughts on it to see if it would be a good summary. It wasn't, so then I had to watch the hour gameplay.
Interesting.
But he was talking about like how allegedly they were supposed to be like a complex moral dilemma-esque type thing. At least that's what he was expecting going into it. And of course, you just said that does not exist.
Not to my knowledge, and even before playing it, I would have guessed that wouldn't have been the point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it was a marketing issue. But also, I just know that like the fan base is definitely split to the people that want the classic Assassin's Creed games and people that want the open world RPG.
Listen, there are so many open world RPGs. Not every game has to be one.
Agreed. Assassin's Creed tried. They were successful in creating an open world RPG, but they were not successful in making an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, right. Come on. One or the other.
Yeah, pick one. Come on, pick a lane. I've enjoyed both. That's coming from a fan of both genres and all the titles of the game. However, I think Assassin's Creed, the originals, are very unique. They should stick to their franchise.
Yeah.
right? Like there's Hitman as sort of like an assassin style of game, and there's like Lara Croft has like Tomb Raider, I guess, is the more appropriate name.
I'm like, yes, Lara Croft.
Well, she's the character. The Tomb Raider has a lot of like stealthy stuff, but nothing like Assassin's Creed. So
Right.
I say stick to that. But yeah, overall, I am really enjoying this game, and I say the pros far outweigh the cons that there are. A lot of the cons were also just personal.
Yeah.
Personal preference as the player, but like I said, I think Wolf would like this game way more than other games, other previous titles. So that's something. And the animation, as long as you don't look too much at the mouths, the rest of the animation is great because it's a gorgeous looking game. As long as
That tracks.
I feel like studios still have not mastered the art of mouth movement.
Gets a little uncanny, but that opening scene that was like in black and white, I think he was having a nightmare. That looked real cool.
Oh, it's really good. Yeah, everything. It's all really good. So overall, 8 out of 10. I'm really enjoying it. This could definitely go up as well. That's Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Wow. I have
And
to
next-
try it after I clean my fans.
Moving right along to Rain's question of the week. Wolf, what is it?
In this week's question of the week, in modern Assassin's Creed, the main characters all have companion animals to help them see. What would your animal companion be if you were an assassin?
Okay, so I want to sort of expand upon this because it's really funny.
Okay.
So in all the assassins, like you mentioned before, they have eagle vision, right?
Yeah.
That's sort of the assassin sense. And I'm not going to get into why they have that because that's a whole other rabbit hole.
Yeah.
They have the eagle vision. So basically, when you activate it, you can see enemies and loot and noteworthy things. Like any noteworthy thing gets highlighted up. In Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla, you don't have the usual eagle vision. You just have a pet eagle.
Vibing.
And in Mirage, they combined it. So they have eagle vision that the character can just activate and like tag all the things. And then you also have your eagle to highlight mostly just enemies or find locations and targets and everything like that. It's more of like an aerial view thing.
I kind of thought our like lady companion was going to be like our eagle equivalent. Because she like made a comment like, yeah, I see where all the good things are.
Yeah, you'd think, but not so. So I just thought it was really funny that originally it's called Eagle Vision, and you just like activate it, and then like they just changed it to like not be so high tech in the ancient games that they just gave you a fucking eagle.
Real eagle.
Yeah. So, Wolf, what would your animal companion be? What would your like, Eagle Vision equivalent be?
I think it'd probably be like a squirrel. People don't really pay them any mind. They're kind of everywhere and really blend in and then go kind of anywhere.
True.
If not a squirrel, then like a rat.
The problem with that, though, is people don't like rats.
They don't like squirrels. No, I guess people leave squirrels be more often.
Yeah, I feel like they do. As long as the squirrel isn't like messing with anything, I feel like they definitely leave it alone. Where people scream at rats.
Really?
Yeah.
People are so dramatic.
I know. They really are.
They're just vibing. They're mammals even. Chilling.
They don't like it. Well, a lot of people think they're dirty.
Yeah. They got a bad rep.
They do.
Probably cleaner than most humans.
Probably. That's like pigs. Pigs are actually a super clean animal, even though they roll in the mud.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
They're just like, they're actively like, I guarantee they're cleaner than most humans.
It's funny what we perceive as like dirty. Like I wouldn't roll in mud because I think mud is dirty, but I know logically it's probably not that dirty.
Right.
I just don't like it.
It's literally just a combination of dirt and water.
Yeah.
and pigs use it just to cool off. But like them as an animal, they're like super clean.
Chilling.
My animal companion, I want a duck.
A duck?
Right. Well, see, most ducks can like fly. So
yeah, of course.
I would still have the sort of aerial view and ducks are adorable, so I can have it like distract guards, and they can also be very loud.
True.
So I could have it distract them in a different way. Right, exactly. And I could also have it if it's like be on watch.
Oh yeah.
Right, so I could like if something or someone is coming close to me, it starts quacking up a storm.
Quacking up a storm.
It just flies away when it gets in danger.
That's true.
The one downfall is that ducks are not particularly fast, like flyers.
Yeah. Oh, they're not?
I don't think so. Not like a hawk or an eagle.
Yeah, fair.
Like in comparison, I mean, they're
goofy little things.
Right, they're kind of dopey. So he's got to be careful about avoiding those arrows. I really got to be careful of my notoriety in this game, otherwise he's gonna get an arrow to the throat.
Imagining a duck wandering around a fucking where is it? Baghdad Palace.
The duck's gonna be chilling in the dome of ass.
Yeah, the dome of ass.
I sent Wolf a couple screenshots of the game. One of the, not just like locations, one of the things I was told to go to was the dome of the ass. And it is not like I told Wolfie, I was expecting a brothel or a stable where they keep donkeys, and it was neither. It was like
even ass shaped?
No, it's quite like boob and nipple shaped.
I can't believe this.
Yeah. It was more of like a pavilion that like vendors sold stuff at.
Maybe they're the asses.
They sure made me look like an ass for thinking it was something else. Gonna get sent to jail for like, where the brothel at? Where's
the ass? So funny.
Oh, that guy. There was a guy in the game that had a heart attack at the Dome of Ass.
Too much ass.
Yeah. All right, Wolf. Whoa, what would Rain have as an animal companion?
Oh yeah, probably a cat. That's her brand, but maybe
that is. It's pretty on brand.
A
giraffe.
Pigeon.
A pigeon.
You can tell I live in a city. Think of an animal. Rat.
Pigeon. The occasional squirrel when I go to a park. God.
Three animals.
Take it away. The three genders. Rat, pigeon, and the squirrel.
Oh, man.
Take it away, Wolf.
I'm Wolf, taking things away. Thank you for watching episode 93 of You're Ridiculous.
Woo.
If you liked all that, be sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe button and hit the bell so you get notified of the next episode. If you're watching on a podcast website, be sure to hit the plus and give us 5 stars to support the show. You can follow us across the internet at the main cast at ridiculous_cast on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow Lucas at 7AngryWasps with an E. And you can follow me at Rainbow Does without the W. We hope to see you guys all again next week. Until then, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.